Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. This is going to be a little combo video between some Chelsea news, some mega news that we're going to discuss this morning, and a preview building my Enzo Maresca Chelsea potential 11 to face Inter Milan tomorrow. The big news yesterday, you guys saw the video here on GBFC. By the way, we're on Miami Beach right now. It's 8:30 in the morning. It is absolutely gorgeous and I am delighted about the Chelsea signing of Pedro Neto. The medical is currently being underway as we speak at the time of recording this video, and we are looking to get this deal done. My concerns about the Neto transfer, I didn't talk about it much yesterday, but it's that injury record, countless hamstring injuries. But hopefully Chelsea have turned a corner. Hopefully the clean bill of health that we saw throughout pre-season is a precursor for what we can get in the Premier League this year. With the Pedro Neto signing, there could be a chain reaction here for various other transfers that could be coming in or out of Chelsea Football Club. Now, the news that broke yesterday is that Juventus, according to Di Marzio, have got Raheem Sterling on their list. I think they also want Nico Gonzalez, but Raheem Sterling is on the list of wingers that could go to Juventus. Now, I'm not saying that I want this to happen, because now that we've brought in Pedro Neto, it basically means that we do not need to sign Federico Chiesa. But there is an option where Chelsea could offer a swap deal for Chiesa and Sterling. However, this for me isn't beneficial for the club whatsoever now that Pedro Neto is coming in. So what I'd say would be, if Juventus are willing to pay for Sterling, who is contracted to Chelsea until 2027, surely, this is just how my brain's working with this whole thing, surely if you get rid of Sterling and Lukaku, the two highest wage earners at the club, earning over 300 grand a week, not even a month, 300 grand plus a week each, surely that gives us a free run to go and sign Victor Osimhen. Even if it is a favourable loan where the wages that we pay him are no less than what he's getting at least right now at Napoli, or no less than his demands. If you're saving 600,000 plus per week on Romelu Lukaku, who's been literally mugging a living since he joined Chelsea, and Raheem Sterling, who, let's be honest, there were moments where I was impressed with Sterling in pre-season, but you've also got to remember that the angle that I was watching him right on the pitch side was a bit different to the angles that you guys see watching on TV. I can see the movement, but it is that end product that Raheem Sterling has struggled with for so long. And at Chelsea, we've not seen the return numbers that we saw at Man City, that we saw at Liverpool. So now that we have signed Pedro Neto, it wouldn't be foolish to think that the amount of minutes that Sterling will be getting at Chelsea will be significantly more limited. I think there is a world where Noni Madueke will still be the first choice on the right if we find a central role for Palmer and can play Nkunku in the same team. So many dilemmas, by the way, for Maresca. We'll get into my starting 11 for this final friendly in a bit. But I think that Noni Madueke on the right, with Sterling being the backup, and then Neto with Mudryk being the backup on the left, at the moment, if we're insistent that it's going to be Cole Palmer playing in a central role this season, which is what we've heard from Maresca so far, then I think that could still work. But for me, what makes the most sense here is get Sterling's wages off the books. If Juventus are willing to put in a decent bid, and Sterling obviously agrees to go, then surely the sale of Lukaku, the sale of Sterling to both Napoli and Juve gives us the freed up money to allow Victor Osimhen to come into Chelsea. That is exactly what I'm hoping for right now. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. The next piece of news that I want to discuss here is not a good one. And as much as I get excited about the club, I get excited about the Neto signing, and I see what they're trying to do. When we sign first team players and we're signing the players for the future, it's when I gain a better appreciation for the transfer strategy. My lack of understanding of it has been that we've spent so much on players that won't play this season, won't play now. We needed to sign players for the now. Now that I see that, I start to get it. But then, when I start to see what the club have done to Trevoh Chalobah, again, similar to what we saw from Gallagher, they've banished Chalobah from first team training, same as Armando Broja. These players that have been at Chelsea their whole lives aren't even able to train to prove to Enzo Maresca that they're worthy of being in this Chelsea squad. It's basically now, find yourselves another club that we're obviously going to be happy with the price for, and you're gone. And for me, this is a disgrace. There can be things that we disagree with wholeheartedly, things that we half agree with and try to understand more. But this one, from Chelsea Football Club, to banish Trevoh Chalobah particularly, also Armando Broja, it doesn't matter. Look, these players are contracted at Chelsea. The fact that we've got a 45-man squad is lunacy. But at the same time, the fact that we are literally just shunning out players like Chalobah, who I genuinely still think is one of the better defenders at this club, but because we value him at 30 million, we want that pure profit back. I know it's kind of, could be seen as disingenuous for me to sit here and be like, well, yeah, I'm happy that we've signed Neto. Big upfront payment for Neto as well, by the way. So there's a lot of pressure on him to perform. But at the same time, like, to just banish these players that have been with us for so long, not even give them a chance, I can't 100% fully say, yeah, it's great that we're spending all this money on new signings if we're just going to throw players that have been such brilliant servants to the club, have been with us since they were literal, like, kids running around. It doesn't sit very well with me whatsoever. But we're going to see how this one develops now. Chalobah, Broja, obviously we knew the club were going to sell them, but it still doesn't sit well when I see that they're not even being given a chance with the first team. Slightly different with Broja because he did come on at pre-season and was pretty awful. So can see why the club are looking to sell him. But anyway, let's move now away from the Chelsea news and into building Enzo Maresca's Chelsea 11 for the final pre-season game. Obviously, the big question on everyone's lips is, have we signed Neto in time? Neto will not play against Inter Milan unless Enzo Maresca says anything different in his press conference, but it would probably be the quickest turnaround for like official images, medical pass, and then go on mate, run out there and have a go. If Neto was to feature at any length against Inter Milan, I firmly believe he'll be at the stadium, as maybe there'll be like an announcement, or he'll be there up in a box with Bowley and Igbali, maybe. That's probably going to happen. But in terms of what I want to see here from this Chelsea team, I've gone with a team that we saw in the image of Enzo Maresca during the pre-season tour of the US. We saw that 3-2-4-1. With that Neto signing, it does raise so many questions about how on earth do we manage to fit an in-form Romeo Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Nkunku, Palmer, as well as having these players like Madueke, your Netos that can hug the touchline to bring width to the Chelsea team. We've actually got so many players here, and if they can all stay fit, then I think we've got so many good players here, which is why I think when we're looking at Man City on the opening day of the season, some people will sit there on their videos and they'll say to you, well, Marc Cucurella, Cole Palmer, they only just got back in with team training. These are two of Chelsea's most important players. So I think there's definitely a world here where we get starting minutes for Cucurella and Cole Palmer, because Chelsea will understand, and Maresca will understand, that the start of the season, the start of this season is so important to not only the confidence, but just getting points on the board so that we can achieve our goals this year. You've got to have your best player, Cole Palmer, on the pitch, and you've got to have Marc Cucurella on the pitch. So my starting 11 to beat Inter Milan and go into the new season is Jorgensen as my goalkeeper. We've not really seen that much of him. He didn't have much to do in the second half against Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure he stayed on till the end. And I'm still not sold on Sanchez. I'm really not. He made some big saves. There were big moments from Sanchez during that pre-season tour, particularly the game against Celtic, which it probably stopped us from conceding 10. Robert Sanchez was the reason for that. But Jorgensen is my first choice keeper. Reece James is obviously suspended for the opening 3 games of the Premier League season, so I've gone with the back 3 here, lining up with Gusto in the right centre-back position, Wesley Fofana in the middle, who I think at the moment, probably in my head, just ahead of Tosin when it comes to that right-sided centre-back or the central centre-back starting for the start of the season. And I think we're going to see as close to what a starting 11 could be. Red Ants just bit me on the foot here. What a starting 11 could be from Enzo Maresca going into that City game. So, Levi Colwill, Badiashile was awful in my opinion during pre-season. So Colwill is the first choice left centre-back right now, and I think he needs minutes, and I think he still needs to build confidence in this system. We've not seen the best out of Levi yet. We move into the two in front of them. Marc Cucurella has to play, in my opinion. He really does. And I've put Romeo Lavia next to him. I want to see if when we start to change the personnel, is Lavia able to show the levels that we saw here in the US? Is he able to show it against the team, Inter Milan, at Stamford Bridge? Lavia, I think, needs Stamford Bridge minutes too, because we've not seen him there yet, really. So this is a big moment for him, a big opportunity, alongside Marc Cucurella, who is so comfortable in that inverted role. And Lavia's had a lot of minutes during this pre-season. So I think having Cucurella, who's not had any minutes since that European final, next to a Lavia who's looking fit, he's looking sharp, he's doing a lot of great defensive work, I think this is going to work really well for us. We move into the two in the 8s. We're going to have wingers here as well. In fact, I'm just going to stick the front right up on the screen for you guys now. We've got Nicholas Jackson on the left, Cole Palmer on the right, Caicedo and Enzo in those central areas, with Christopher Nkunku up top. Samu Omarodion, don't think he's also going to be ready, having just played in the Olympics for Spain. He won a gold medal. Don't think he actually featured in the final, but he's still a gold medalist. Well done to big boy Samu. But this is the Chelsea team that I think is not only going to be available, but it's going to be ready and is going to be close to what we could see, and in my opinion should see, based on all the football that I watched during this pre-season tour. This is the 11 that I think Chelsea will get the best from right now. Miami Beach, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely stunning. Let me know what you think of this team in the comments down below. There's obviously still a lot of questions that we need answers to here from Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. Are we going to be ready to play against Man City with this new shape? Is Maresca even comfortable with having a plan B? Or is it so solely focused at this stage on getting the best out of these players in that new system so that they learn everything that they need to learn? I think for this final pre-season game, we're going to see the Maresca at Stamford Bridge that he wants to see from Chelsea this season. And I think the big question mark right now, how quickly is Neto going to be able to get involved? How quickly can Cole Palmer and Marc Cucurella be as sharp as we need them to be going into the Premier League season? We don't have time to have a couple of nice, easy fixtures. We've got Manchester City at Stamford Bridge in match week number 1, the champions. It does not get any more difficult than this. And as much as the pre-season results weren't good, I know a lot of you guys have been really upset with the results, the way that we're playing, the transfer policy, but that Neto signing has given me a bit more belief that yes, the club are going to make the right signings for the now. We're going to make those signings that will make the starting 11 stronger now, as well as building for the future, which we have seen Chelsea do in the transfer market for the last few windows. Also remember, there was a 4-window strategy that we heard about 4 windows ago. This is window number 4. So hopefully we're going to have a team at the end of this transfer window that is competitive, able to get us back in the Champions League so that we can keep competing not only for trophies but for the best players. But anyway, I'm going to walk off of Miami Beach now, upload this video for you guys. We are so close right now to 300,000 subscribers, so I won't say thank you for 300k yet, but I will ask you to please subscribe to the George Benson Football channel if you haven't already done so. Smack a like on this video, and tomorrow 6 Things We Learned will be out straight after the Inter Milan game. No match vlog because I'm in Miami. I'll see you guys in a bit. Come on, you Blues.